today?
Well, I'm going to have to ask him myself. Chris DeRubeis is here. He's a world-renowned artist. He's brought some of his pieces in for us today. Now, his work is so popular, he's already become one of the top-selling metal artists in North America. He'll be at the Edition Gallery tonight, but joins us bright and early on Breakfast Television this morning. I'm assuming that those beautiful pieces, though for sale, are not to be given to our meteorologist this morning.
No.
No. Okay, so you were pretty young when you first started.
I started very young.
Now, what was the first, I mean, I want to take a look at your pieces because obviously these are some pretty grown-up materials, but what were your first materials that you worked with?
Like, you know, sketching with chalks and watercolors and just messing around with canvas and just the typical mainstream, like everything that a normal artist would work with.
But you evolved into some pretty sophisticated materials. Now, I know you don't like to give a lot away, but let's, if we can, get a shot of some of your work that you've brought in today,
okay,
and talk about what it is that you work with. And you can't, unfortunately, I don't think that the camera really picks up the depth that you get when you see these in person. So you can take a look at the screen and see what are we looking at right now.
That's one of my butterfly pieces. That actually gets lit on fire with the chemicals and stuff that I use during my process to actually create that piece. So you can see like the chemical reactions. It almost looks like a stone or a marble, and then the butterflies hand painted and created, you know, after the effect of everything else that's evolved, and the grinding and the power tools. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah,
we're taking a look at your process now. So you're grinding with power tools. You also light stuff on fire. This is what we're looking at now.
It's a little bit dangerous, but really fun, and it's something that I just created myself. There's no school or a place that you can go to learn, you know, the process. That's the other thing I think that's really cool about my work, that it's all original art, and they're all, you know, just one-of-one pieces that no two could look alike. And when you see it in person, it's really, really cool.
It is really cool. There's so much depth to it. Yeah. I mean, I think you do have to go see it in person.
It does, and it moves with you. You know, shifts and changes in the different light. So.
But you don't like to give too much away about your process or the exact chemicals you use. You say that it's quite dangerous, the stuff that you're putting together.
It is.
What precautions do you have to take when you're making your
you know, a suit, gloves, mask, glasses. It's the whole full-on.
It's heavy-duty stuff. Let's take a look. I believe we also have some images of some other things that you've worked on. Oh, this is one that we have in the studio. So what is this piece?
That's the turtles.
Just the turtle.
Double turtle.
The double turtle. And again, it doesn't quite read. Okay, this is a bike that you worked on.
This is stuff I did about 10 years ago before I kind of figured out how to do this process. You know, I was doing that to try to get myself by and try to figure out, you know, art school and things like that. And so once I figured out that you can use power tools and shape and grind on the tanks, the metal was just jumping out at me. It would just started to become a new life form. So from that moment on, I started taking the bike stuff into what I'm creating now.
Right. Do you still do this kind of stuff, bikes and boats?
I don't have time to do it anymore.
No. You mean somebody couldn't commission that?
They couldn't. Well, they could, but it'd be a lot.
It would cost them a lot of money.
It would.
Now, tell me about this term that is associated with you called abstract sensualism. Is that something that you coined?
Yeah, it was just something that I came up with after looking and studying my own pieces. Some of my pieces have hidden, you know, women figures and stuff inside the abstract, and like the butterfly piece has that abstract feel, and it's kind of sensual, very relaxing type of state. So that's kind of how I developed that name and that style.
Abstract sensualism. People can see for themselves tonight at the Editions Gallery from 5 to 9. More information at breakfasttelevision.ca. How many pieces do you have there tonight?
At least 20.
Wow.
20, 25 maybe.
And should people bring their checkbooks? Those are really cool. I'd like to have one in my house.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
Coming up after the break, more with Jill from the Talisman Center. And Andy, I'm afraid, unless you got your checkbook ready, you're not getting a piece for free. Chris says no.
Drat. It looks good anyway. More details, of course, on the forecast. I can help you with that and make sure I deliver that to you free of charge.